Just now, Seattle Seahawks face shocking $40 million decision? Fans losing it. Seahawks news today. Seahawks Nation is on edge as reports suggest the front office is staring at a massive $40 million decision that could reshape the roster. Is it a contract extension for a star player, a cap casualty move, or a make-or-break investment in the team's future? Fans are split, some demanding the team pay whatever it takes to keep elite talent, others warning that one huge deal could limit flexibility for years. Social media is exploding with hot takes, predictions, and emotional reactions. One thing is clear: whatever choice Seattle makes next could define the direction of the franchise moving forward. Stay locked in. What is going on in Seattle right now? Because the Seattle Seahawks are reportedly staring down a massive $40 million decision that could completely reshape the direction of this franchise, and fans are absolutely losing it. If you thought this offseason was going to be quiet, think again. This is the kind of move that can define the next 3 to 5 years of football in the Pacific Northwest. So here's the situation. The Seahawks are deep in roster evaluation mode, and with the new coaching vision under Mike Macdonald and the front office led by John Schneider, every dollar matters. We're talking about cap flexibility, long-term sustainability, and whether this team is truly rebuilding or reloading. And at the center of it all is a contract situation that carries a cap hit close to $40 million. That number alone is enough to send shockwaves through the fan base. In today's National Football League, quarterback contracts and star player extensions can balloon fast. But when you're not 100% certain you're a championship contender, committing that kind of money becomes a serious gamble. Now let's break this down. The debate swirling around social media, sports radio, and fan forums revolves around whether the team should fully commit to their veteran core or pivot toward a younger, cheaper foundation. One of the biggest names constantly pulled into this conversation is Geno Smith. Geno resurrected his career in Seattle in a way almost nobody predicted, earning comeback accolades and leading the team back into playoff relevance. But the reality of the business side is harsh. When a quarterback carries a massive cap hit, every other position group feels the squeeze. And that's where the $40 million question becomes more than just one player. It's about opportunity cost. If you commit that chunk of salary cap space, what happens to the offensive line upgrades fans have been begging for? What about extending a true offensive weapon like DK Metcalf long-term and making sure he remains a cornerstone in this offense? Or even continuing to support a veteran leader like Tyler Lockett, whose consistency has defined the passing attack for years? Seahawks fans are split right down the middle. On one side, you've got the loyalists who say stability at quarterback is priceless. They argue that constant turnover at the most important position in sports is a recipe for mediocrity. They remember the years of dominance when the team had a clear identity and leadership under center. They believe that moving on too quickly could send the franchise spiraling back into uncertainty. On the other side, you've got the realists who are looking at the numbers. They're looking at playoff exits. They're looking at defensive inconsistencies. They're asking whether allocating $40 million to one player aligns with the bigger picture. Because here's the truth. This roster has holes. The defensive front has shown flashes but lacks consistent dominance. The secondary is talented but young. The offensive line has struggled with protection in critical moments. $40 million could potentially address multiple areas instead of just one. And let's not ignore the emotional side of this. Seattle is a passionate football city. The echoes of the Legion of Boom era still linger. Fans remember what it felt like when the defense was feared and the offense was efficient, not forced to carry shootouts every single week. Another layer to this drama is the timing. The NFC West is no joke. Divisional rivals are either loading up with young talent or making aggressive financial pushes of their own. Standing still is not an option. If the Seahawks commit to this $40 million path and it doesn't translate into deep playoff success, critics will be ruthless. But if they pivot away and the offense regresses, the backlash will be just as intense. What makes this even more intense is how quiet the front office has been. There haven't been dramatic public statements, no obvious hints, just calculated silence. And in today's information age, silence fuels speculation. Every insider tweet, every rumor, every cryptic comment from analysts becomes gasoline on the fire. Let's talk pure strategy for a second. Restructuring is an option. Teams do it all the time. You can convert base salary into signing bonuses, push money into future years, and create short-term cap relief. But that's essentially borrowing from tomorrow to pay for today. Eventually, the bill comes due. And if the roster isn't truly championship caliber, you risk being stuck in a cycle of cap gymnastics without real postseason breakthroughs. Releasing or trading a major contract, on the other hand, creates immediate flexibility, but also immediate risk. Who steps up? Is there a young quarterback waiting in the wings? Is the draft class strong enough to justify such a bold move? These are not decisions you make lightly. Fans are also questioning whether this coaching staff wants a clean slate. When a new head coach steps in, there's always the possibility that he wants his guy at quarterback. Not necessarily because the current starter isn't good, but because alignment in philosophy matters. System fit matters. Mobility, decision-making style, leadership approach, all of it plays into long-term planning. And let's be real, $40 million is not just a football number. It represents belief. It represents commitment. It represents a declaration to the locker room that this is the core we're building around. Players notice that. Veterans especially. If management doubles down financially, it sends a message of confidence. If they pivot away, it signals transition. Meanwhile, the locker room dynamic cannot be ignored. Leadership stability matters. Players build chemistry over time. Wide receivers develop timing with their quarterback. Offensive linemen adapt to cadence and pocket movement. Ripping that apart for financial reasons can have ripple effects beyond just the stat sheet. And yet, championships require boldness. Sometimes you have to make uncomfortable decisions to elevate from good to great. This franchise has been in that middle ground recently. Competitive, dangerous on any given Sunday, but not quite feared as a true Super Bowl threat. The front office has to ask itself whether staying the course changes that reality. As of right now, nothing is official. No contract termination, no blockbuster trade announcement. But the internal discussions are very real. Cap analysts are crunching numbers. Scouts are evaluating quarterback prospects. Coaches are reviewing every snap from last season. And fans? Fans are refreshing their feeds every 5 minutes, waiting for that breaking news alert. Here's the bottom line. This $40 million decision is about identity. Are the Seahawks a team that believes they're 1 or 2 tweaks away from contending? Or are they willing to endure short-term growing pains for long-term upside? Whatever choice they make will echo for years. And if history has taught us anything, it's that this franchise is not afraid of bold moves. They've shocked the league before. They've let go of fan favorites. They've taken chances that analysts doubted. Sometimes it paid off massively. Sometimes it sparked controversy. Right now, all eyes are on Seattle. The pressure is building. The speculation is growing louder. And until that decision becomes official, the debate will only intensify. So buckle up, because the next few weeks could define the next era of Seahawks football. Whether it's a commitment to stability or a leap into the unknown, that $40 million choice is coming. And when it does, the reaction from fans, players, and the entire league is going to be explosive.